Unveiling Kremlin's spy networks, the disinformation war on U.S. Christians and Christian nationalist groups via the Russian Orthodox Church. The Kremlin's covert operations within the Russian Orthodox Church trace a complex web of deceit and manipulation. This intricacy manifests itself in the form of spy networks, which have been set up methodically to influence not just the religious sphere, but also the political. This is not a recent development, but a part of a historical pattern where religion has been used as a tool to further political objectives. Understanding the history of Russia's use of religion for political gain provides a deeper insight into the current scenario. It's a long-standing tradition that dates back to the Soviet era. The rulers, regardless of their ideologies, have always recognized the power of religion in shaping public opinion and have exploited it to secure their hold on power. The relation between the Kremlin and the Russian Orthodox Church, however, is far from divine. It is a calculated alliance, forged with the intention of using the Church as a platform to propagate Kremlin's political agenda. The Church, in return, receives state patronage, which ensures its survival and growth in a predominantly Orthodox country. The Russian Orthodox Church plays a pivotal role in the Kremlin's political strategy. The Church, with its vast reach and influence, serves as an effective medium for Kremlin to disseminate its ideology. The Church leaders, who are often Kremlin loyalists, ensure that the political message is subtly embedded in the religious discourse. The sophistication of the Kremlin's spy network in the Russian Orthodox Church is alarming. The network is not just confined to the church hierarchy, but extends to the grassroots level. This widespread network ensures that the Kremlin's influence permeates every level of the church, thereby furthering its political agenda seamlessly. The Kremlin's spy networks within the Russian Orthodox Church operate with chilling precision and stealth. Their methods, often unseen and untraceable, involve strategic manipulation and control of information. Infiltrating from within, they target individuals, groups, and institutions by exploiting their faith and trust. American Christians and Christian nationalist groups have increasingly become the targets of these sophisticated networks. This is not a random choice. These communities often hold considerable influence over political decision-making, making them valuable pawns for the Kremlin's political agenda. The motivation behind the Kremlin's focus on U.S. Christian groups is layered. On one hand, it's about destabilizing American society and undermining democracy. On the other, it's about promoting Russian interests. The ultimate aim is to create social and political divisions that can be exploited to Russia's advantage. To achieve their objectives, the Kremlin's spy networks use disinformation as their primary weapon. They spread false narratives and propaganda designed to incite fear, distrust, and division. This disinformation not only distorts the truth, but also manipulates people into acting against their own interests. There have been real-life instances where the Kremlin's spy networks have successfully infiltrated U.S. Christian groups. These cases are often complex and intricate, involving a series of manipulations and deceptions. They offer a chilling insight into the lengths the Kremlin is willing to go to manipulate and control. The impact of Kremlin's disinformation campaign on Christian nationalist groups is significant. It serves to sow discord, stoke paranoia, and foster an environment of distrust and division. By manipulating religious beliefs and ideologies, these groups are steered towards a pro-Russian stance. In response to this threat, the US has implemented a counter-strategy, focusing on information literacy and digital hygiene. The government is working closely with social media platforms to identify and remove Russian propaganda, while also educating the public about the dangers of misinformation. Social media has become a digital battlefield in the information war. Platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube have been weaponized by the Kremlin to disseminate disinformation. The speed and reach of these platforms makes them an ideal medium for spreading propaganda. Identifying disinformation is a critical step in mitigating this threat. Warning signs include sensationalist headlines, unverified information, and content that promotes extreme views. Fact-checking and cross-referencing information are essential practices to avoid falling prey to propaganda. To further mitigate this threat, US Christian and Christian nationalist groups must be vigilant. They should critically assess information, verify sources, and resist sharing unverified content. Education and awareness are key to combating the insidious influence of Kremlin's spy networks. The impact of Kremlin's spy networks extends beyond the confines of religious groups, reaching into the arena of US-Russia relations. The deliberate sowing of discord and disinformation amongst US Christian and Christian nationalist groups acts as a destabilizing force, straining the diplomatic ties between the two nations. This espionage activity amplifies existing tensions, complicating negotiations and diplomatic discourse. The struggle against disinformation is a continuous battle. It is an insidious threat that requires constant vigilance and proactive countermeasures. The United States must remain firm in its commitment to truth and transparency, combating disinformation with facts and public education. This struggle is not just about protecting Christian groups, but also about preserving the integrity of the democratic process. The future implications of Kremlin's spy networks targeting US Christians are vast and concerning. This is not a short-term problem with immediate solutions. If left unchecked, the long-term consequences could include further societal division, erosion of trust in democratic institutions, and the potential for increased political polarization. The need for comprehensive counter-strategies is urgent and paramount.